In a revelation that shook the world and reopened a decades-old Hollywood tragedy, Paul Jones Jr., the younger brother of Family Affair star Anissa Jones, finally broke his long-held silence shortly before his own untimely death. Speaking out in what would tragically become one of his final interviews, Paul exposed the emotional toll, hidden trauma, and heartbreaking family secrets that followed his sister's death, leaving fans and the public stunned. Anissa, who portrayed the beloved character Buffy on the hit 1960s sitcom, passed away in 1976 at just 18 years old from a lethal cocktail of drugs. For years, Paul remained largely out of the spotlight, silent about the grief that consumed his family. But as he neared the end of his own life in 1984, he made the courageous decision to open up. In his emotional statement, Paul revealed that Anissa had confided in him many times about the pressures of fame, the isolation she felt, and her growing dependency on substances to escape the stress. She was smiling on the outside, but crying on the inside, he recalled. He explained how their once normal lives had been turned upside down after Anissa was thrust into stardom, with Hollywood executives and public expectations taking precedence over her well-being. Paul admitted that he felt powerless watching his sister struggle, his voice breaking as he confessed, "I didn't know how to save her." What shocked the world most was Paul's candid admission that Anissa's cries for help were ignored not just by strangers in the industry, but by those closest to her. He revealed that behind closed doors, the family was falling apart. Their parents were often at odds, unable to agree on how to handle Anissa's spiraling situation. Paul described feeling invisible, overshadowed by the fame and the tragedy, and haunted by the guilt that he couldn't do more. He spoke of nights spent replaying her final days in his head, analyzing conversations, and wondering if he missed a crucial sign. She didn't want to die, he said. She just didn't know how to live in the world they built around her. As his voice cracked with emotion, listeners could hear the weight of years of silence finally lifting. Tragically, Paul himself passed away just weeks later from a drug overdose at the age of 24, his own battle with addiction and grief finally taking its toll. His death, following so soon after his brave confession, painted a devastating picture of two siblings lost to the same darkness. The world was left reeling, not just from the loss of both Jones' children, but from the raw truth Paul had finally shared. Fans, former co-stars, and media outlets reflected on how the pressures of child stardom, emotional neglect, and untreated trauma had created a tragic pattern. Paul's final words served not only as a tribute to his sister, but as a haunting warning about the cost of silence. In the end, Paul's confession wasn't just a revelation, it was a cry for compassion, awareness, and the hope that no other young star would suffer the same fate. His story, like Anissa's, remains a heartbreaking legacy of innocence lost too soon.